we are bringing to you a special. Guess which is the world's largest wealth fund and how much profit they've made in 2023. And more importantly, what's their India portfolio? Joining me now is Muralidhar Swaminathan with all the details from the latest portfolio of the world's largest wealth fund. Murali, it's over to you.
Thank you. See, this is a very interesting analysis of the world's largest fund. Let me not hold back. It's Norway's sovereign fund, which is the world's largest wealth fund. And they manage, for starters, they manage the wealth of the Norway governments. To go back in history, they had sometime in 1960s, they discovered oil, and the Norwegian government would transfer all the surplus to this fund. And later it turned out to be a pension fund. Now it's so huge that they are investing in some 8,500 odd stocks across 70 countries, and their total value of holding is roughly $1,500 billion. Okay, now the India part. The India part, if you see from the overall portfolio, is a very minuscule 1.5%, which comes to roughly about $24 billion. Now, this $24 billion is big for us, yes, for the Indian audience. Now, that is one part of the story. The second part of the story is that the market value of the India portfolio has grown by 40%. I'm only talking about the market value.
Invested value was 24 billion.
Invested value as of December 2023. Was 24 billion.
So it's about 36 billion of market value now.
No, it was $17 billion approximately the previous year. It has grown to $24 billion, to clarify the point. So the value is surged. We don't know how much additional money they have put in. The reason why I can't find that now, we will. You can go and read on the website later. We'll get a detailed analysis. Now the interesting point is there are 460 stocks that they have invested in India, which means that it would look like a mini small cap portfolio, mini mid cap portfolio, mini large cap portfolio. So there are three different small cases that you can find within that portfolio if you segregate them. Now the interesting thing is they have not bet big on tech in India, but they are betting big on tech, the big tech across the globe. In fact, to go back to, sorry, I'm moving back and forth, to go back to their world scenario, they made a profit of almost $230 billion in 2023, 50% of which came from the big tech, the Microsoft, NVIDIA. They bet big on AI. 2023, they simply went big on tech. 15% of their portfolio, which is roughly about $245 billion, is invested in tech companies. And the top tech companies are the Microsofts, the Alphabets, the NVIDIA, the Amazon, you name it, they are there, the top 10 are there. That is point number one. Now coming back to India, you will find that they are not betting big on tech. Their bets are small bets across the board. Let me read some of them. First, I'll take
and this is just an equity fund, right, Murali?
No, it is an equity fund.
And debt?
Usually 80% of it is equity. They invest in fixed income too, because they are a pension fund, but they are heavy on equities, and they are long term. Long term, when we say they're long term in the sense of 10, 15, 20 years.
And market cap agnostic?
Absolutely. Okay. No, they just go by the company. They don't go by the size.
I think what's interesting to understand is what are they betting on in India?
Yeah, okay, let me come. You're waiting for that one. Their top 5 bets are Reliance Industries, roughly $1.8 billion, HDFC Bank, about $1.5 billion, followed by ICICI Bank, Infosys, Axis Bank. See, you can see it on your screen. And these are the top 5 bets. Top 5 bets. Once you go down the ladder, you will find that a large number of small companies. They have also invested in 3 of the Adani Group companies, but that's only $130 million or somewhere around that figure. Let me also take a look at some of them. Tata Motors is one of the big bets that they have, which is number 14th position in the list, and they've invested about $26 million. But the point here is that when they invest a small amount, small caps and mid caps, they surge. Like they go through the roof. So my assessment is that their maximum gain must have come from small and mid-cap stocks, not so much with their big hold, because Reliance and HDFC Bank were underperformers
so
in
your
2023.
broader markets have done 48% returns, right? So while the percentage may be small, the simple volume and value term, the movement is so much bigger.
Huge, humongous. So the point here is that you have, that brings a lot of stability to the Indian market when you see such funds investing, which is why we are playing this out. Now, there are interesting bets I would like to read. They've invested in Havells, Bajaj Auto, of course, is there. Then they have smaller companies. If I go Info Edge, Titan, of course, is their favorite stock. Then Supreme Industries, Divi's Laboratories, Cholamandam, Powergrid, Pidilite, Ashok Leyland, you name it, the list is very, Kajaria Ceramics, Zomato also they have picked up in their list, HDFC Life Insurance, Dr. Reddy's, JSW Steel, the list is pretty long. There are also some smaller companies you will be interesting to know, some 361 WAM Limited.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very small, I think it's a new addition in this list. Vedant Fashions.
361 is IFL's
IFL's
new mutual
so
fund.
it's the story we've talked about, capital
And
markets.
one of their favorites, though of course the size is not very big, Syngene. Syngene is there in their list. Then you can see Polycab, which has been running a lot. Polycab is also there in that list. RR Cable. Then, of course, Adani Ports is there, Indian Oil Corporation, TVS. The list is very, very long. So
except tech, they own everything.
Though they are not heavy on tech, say as far as India is concerned, they have a mix of small tech players, mid caps, small caps, and they are not betting big on one or two companies. 460 companies across the board, a very interesting thing. But for more details, do log into our site. We will be able to.
Absolutely. And the big takeaway, like you said, Murali, is that the India story sort of gets another thumbs up with this kind of investment, even in smaller companies, not just the big boys.